Alright, welcome to this new video. And in this video, I'm going to show you my Facebook ad blueprint, what allowed me to make over 111,000 euros in 50 days, starting from absolute zero with the new Shopify store back in October 2023. It's going to be completely unfiltered. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you guys basically my advertising campaigns, the ad setup and what campaign I used, and also the ad creative I used, which allowed me to get to those numbers. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen, and from there on I will dive into everything. I will share my Shopify dashboard, but above all I will share my Facebook ads dashboard as well, and nothing will be basically held back. Okay, so all the things that you can and will see in this video are completely transparent, and I genuinely hope this will be helpful for you so you can also implement it afterwards. So let's dive into it. All right, so right now we are in my Facebook Ads Manager, and in here I will show you guys my campaign setup, my ad set setup, and my ad setup with the actual ad creatives that I've used that actually did work for me, so you guys can actually execute afterwards. Okay, nothing will be held behind. Like I said, it's going to be completely unfiltered, no editing, nothing like that. So let's dive into it. First of all, it's super important to understand, as you can see here, that the average ROAS with basically your total purchases that you've had should actually match the amount of purchases that you've had on Shopify. So if we do that and we see that there is something lacking, there are more or maybe less purchases basically tracked in Facebook, then your Facebook ad account with Pixel are not tracking accurately. And what can you actually do about that? First of all, this is super important in order to analyze and scale your ads, but also to kill your ads accordingly. Because it could be that you will kill or scale your ads that maybe should not have been done as you're relying on false data. And that is because the iOS 11 update back in 2021 allowed basically people on Facebook to basically be stricter with their privacy policy. And that would prevent you from actually tracking accurately in Facebook itself. There's one solution I know that is so good that you can actually rely still on the data of Facebook, but therefore you need TrackB. I will put down a link in the description so you can rely on it in order to track your ads accurately. That is your foundation. That's something you need to have in order to basically sell profitably with Facebook. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to show you guys right now what I mean by that. I have 1,400 orders in here from 30th of October till 22nd of December, right? The average ROAS that I had was 1.85. My break-even ROAS on average was 1.3, 1.4, something that I'm always relying on, so it was profitable. However, I actually was way more profitable because, as you see here, and we look at the total orders from the exact same dates, I'm going to refresh this for you guys as well to keep completely transparent, right? It's 1,729 orders tracked in Shopify, and this is the actual orders that came in, right? So 1,729 compared to 1,417. That means that there are 310 orders missing. So the actual ROAS that I had was way above 2, which of course makes me way more profitable than it's showing in here. But why is this important? If you're looking at this data and you look at the campaign, for example, P41, right, with a 2.61 ROAS, I look at the ads and the ad sets, then I see that when I click here and I drive all the best ROAS, let's say rates to the top, that these ones, for example, should have been maybe break even, but the rest is really unprofitable. But it could be that the basically untracked orders are actually coming up in here, which is not showing us inside the Facebook Ad Manager. And that is why you need to install TrackB in order to make basically educated decisions and to rely on real data. TrackB is just an extension of your Facebook Ad Manager that will allow you to track your data accurately, to analyze it, and to then kill or scale it accordingly based on real data. So you're never going to make decisions anymore based on data that you see here if it is not accurate. So that's super important to keep in mind and to track in order to make educated and proper decisions to either kill or scale your ads. Okay? And how you should do that as well per campaign is by going to Shopify, you click on Analytics, and then we head over to Reports. In Reports, we click on Sessions by Landing Page here, and then we, of course, filter it on the same date. So we go back to October, right, 2023. We click on the 30th until the 22nd, and we see here as well that, for example, the Ethan product was the best performing with 21,000 sessions, 17,000 visitors, 1,100 add to carts, and 1,000 checkouts reached. When we want to define it and we also include the conversion rate, right, then we can actually rely on as well, okay, is it actually profitable? The conversion rate, I always like to have at least 2% or higher. So this tells us that this one was actually doing pretty well in the checkout as well. And based on this data, you can also see that this one could have been actually optimized on the product page in order to make it work better. Because you have to understand, your Facebook ads can work really well, right? So for example, P41, and I go to the actual ad of this product, and I click here on preview, right? This was the ad, for example. Then when I click on see more, people are clicking here through to my web page, right? But if this is actually giving us real good data by looking at, for example, the cost per click and the CTR, the click-through rate, with an average cost per click of 77 cents US dollars, right? So that would be around maybe 60 cents in euros over 8,000 spent, which is quite good. And then we look at the CTR, which is 2.85%, but unique CTR is 3.84%, and this is where we rely on. That means that the ads are actually performing well. Because it could still be that, we are unprofitable. Then we don't need to look at the actual ads in Facebook, but we need to head over to Shopify in order to see where we can improve in order to increase the add to cart rate, right? And that is how we look at it. So if I would go, for example, to this product right now, Genie, right? And I just search it up. Let me go here. Just go to the store right now and we search for Genie, right? Then we see, okay, we're selling it for $59.95. The most important thing to look at is always your offer and price. Besides, of course, having a fixed product description and everything that should be in place. That is like, the basement, the foundation that you need to have right. But if this works based on like earlier products and earlier products you've tested with landing pages that are similar, then you need to look at, okay, how can you make this offer actually stand out? What can you do in order to make it a winner? It is super important for you to understand as a beginner that winners are not some products that you test and you just see if it works or not. You don't make any changes and you, based on the data, you tell, okay, this product is not working, this product is working, right? You should make it a winner. If there are very good ads basically on Facebook with great KPIs, but it's lacking on your Shopify page, you should always look in your Shopify page in order to optimize this to get a higher conversion rate. On the other hand, if you're having very bad data from the start in Facebook with your first touch point with a customer, then you should never look at your product page, but first basically improve your ads. And that is how you need to analyze accordingly in order to make educated decisions. And TrackB you can use properly in order to rely on the real data to make the final decision properly, right? So with that, if I go back right now here and I click on analytics, we see that the add to carts has been overall 4.35%. To be very honest, that is not really great if you look at the an add to cart rate we want to aim for, 7 or 8% or higher. But you have to keep in mind, I'm testing 5 products per day. So depending on how much products you're testing, there are always going to be products that are just not working, the majority of the products. But based on that, you should also calculate that you never rely on the total amount of add to carts on your store, right? When you're testing, for example, 4 or 5 products per day. But that's why it's so important to look at the sessions by landing page. So you can actually do that per product instead of the overall of products. If you're testing 5 products, 4 are not performing, but 1 is a real good product, you could still have a very low add to cart rate or very bad KPIs with a low conversion rate overall in here. But it will not, let's say, tell you that, your actual product that is selling is a bad product. And that's why you should never rely on these numbers overall to make decisions for all your products. That's always what you need to do here in reports by session by landing page in order to make educated decision with, of course, the right dates that you use as well in Facebook, right? So with that being said, that is the first very important thing to understand and to do in order to make educated decisions. With that being said, with all the analyzations done, I will show you guys right now which are my most profitable ads and why those have been the most profitable for me, okay? So we click here on purchase ROAS, return on ad spend, right? We click again and we see that P59 has given us 5 ROAS, but it was only with 39 spent. So what I would do in order to basically look at, okay, what is, let's say, the biggest ROAS also compared to the biggest spend? I click on the amount spent and I see this one is 10,000 euros spent, $10,000, right? With an average ROAS of 2.9. And that is really good. So we're gonna go with this one, right? When we click on ad sets, you see I use a lot of basically ad sets in here as well. And normally I only use CBO campaigns that we have done here as well, here. But what we have seen for this ad account specifically is that the ABOs were working better than CBOs. So that's why we have this spent on ad set level. So for most of you guys who basically follow me for a very long time, they know that I use CBOs. And that is basically my foundation, my starting point that I always use. However, we have seen for this ad account specifically that ABOs were outperforming the CBOs for most products. So we relied on basically ABOs after a certain time, right? So as we go to the ad sets and we click here as well on the amount of spent, you see that the non-related interest, right, is actually giving us the best results with the 3 ROAS based on 2,000 spent. So that gives me let's say 3 times 2, like 6,000 and 6,500 euros in return on 2,000 spent, which is really profitable, right? So what we normally initially do when we launch a CBO, we always start with a broad interest, no interest, so non-related interest. That is the same as here. So it still tells us that let's say that the non-interest is working the best. However, the ad spend was on ABO level, on ad set level, instead of on campaign level. So that's the only change that I basically made for this campaign. We spent 20 a day ultimately, and for some campaigns during Black Friday, for example, we spent 100 a day and so forth, right? But what you would like to maybe know is, okay, what was this product actually? This was my most profitable product, basically during the entire run of this store. And it was basically an tactical tracksuit, okay? I'm gonna show you guys how the ads looked. And as you can see here as well, on ad level, we have spent most money on this ad. So when I right now click on preview, you see it's just a tactical, basically vest, right? We say here 1 + 1 free. And the only thing that we did is making this a winner by giving the pants for free. So this is the huge tip that I want to give you guys in this video, which is this product initially was not working well, honestly. Why we made it work and made it work at that time was that we, instead of like selling it for 50% off that we initially did, we said, okay, you know, now you get actually the pants today for free. I will show you guys how my product page looked like for this product. It's the Ethan product. And remember, it was the 9th product that I tested, was already a winner. So as you can see here, this is a wind break, tactical suit. The only thing that we changed to make this a winner is that we put here, you get a free soft shell jeans. This is the exact same price that I used, the exact same images that I used, the exact same product description that I used, and everything the same. The only thing that we changed in order to go from basically being unprofitable to really profitable is to tell the people that they get a free soft shell jeans. This is how you make winners. This product was initially not a winning product. However, we saw really good basically ad stats on Facebook. And we also saw some purchases coming in on Shopify. So what we did is we look at, okay, how could we actually improve this product by making it a winner? And as we sold like an entire, like say, suit, we could have, instead of, let's say, having, you know, only 50% off and not saying this in the end, we could actually tell them that they get the jeans for free, even though it's the exact same. But just saying, okay, you get the jeans for free because people like free stuff, as you might know. And it actually went from being unprofitable to being really, really profitable. Overall, for this campaign and this product, I can show you right now when we go to ads and we use all the P009 campaigns, right? Then we see here P009. And a few more, potentially. Now let's use only these two, right? We go to the ad sets. We spent 13,000 and we got an average ROAS of 2.74, 494 orders in total. We got a break-even ROAS of 1.4 in this product. So that means that we are like way above average profitable. This is really good. However, with 13,000 spent and 2.74 ROAS is based on 494 purchases. So when we look again at Shopify and we go to the Ethin product, overall over the same dates, right? Then we see we got an, let me see, Ethin product, and we look at, for example, the sessions converted. We see that this was actually getting in 518 orders instead of 494. So there were like still 20 to 30 orders missing. So this ROAS actually increased to 3. So with every euro that I spent, I would have been profitable if I would have a 1.3 ROAS. However, we got a 3 ROAS. So that means we were more than double profitable based on the spend that we had. So with this spend, I got like 15,000 euros in profit. And that was, of course, for this product really good because from the beginning, it was actually not profitable at all. And we look at the overall stats. You see that all these ads in here are quite the same because this one was working well. So what we did, we used more of what was already working. And that was exactly what we did. Right now, I can tell you for like the products that I'm using during the summer, I use a different approach in terms of ad creatives. And that is where I will dive in with you guys in the next video. It's going to be very intensive video. I would love to show you guys how I do it right now. It's super simple. It's not rocket science or whatever. And yeah, I'm just super excited to share it with everyone. But for now, this is like super important to understand. First of all, what you want to do if you're going to create basically a campaign, you want to start with CBOs from the beginning. I would highly suggest that. I also always tell that to my clients, and I would highly suggest you to do that as well. But you might think, okay, but now how do I do that? And that's what we will do right now. So if I open up just a new account like this one, this ad account with potentially no campaigns in here, what I would do is create an account. Next, we click on sales. Then we click on continue and we click on manual sales campaign. Then in here, you can name the product how you want. So for example, in my case, I always use P numbers. So let's say P010, right? The 10th product that I test. Then in here, you can also tell yourself, okay, are you going to use a CBO or EBO campaign? In this case, we do CBO, and you can calculate your break-even ROAS in here. For example, your break-even ROAS is 1.4, or you can use your profit margin. Profit margin is, let's say, your profit that you have with the selling price with all the costs deducted from it. Remember, VAT you should deduct first and then basically the shipping and buying cost of that product. Okay, so let's say we have left 23 euros of profit for this product, right? That's what you do. No one will see this, for yourself, for your own reference. Then we untap the catalog. Then we use active Advantage campaign budget campaign, and we set the campaign at 50 euros and 88 cents per day. This is of course in pounds. Doesn't matter, you can use that as well. Okay, then we go on next, and in here we use no targeting. So we just literally do like no targeting. This is just for yourself when you're reviewing it, right? What I mean by that is we use maximize number of conversions always, and we use purchase campaign. So use, for example, this pixel if you've implemented it, and the conversion event is always purchase. Okay, so purchase. We scroll down, and in here we're gonna launch it for tomorrow at 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, then we go scroll down. This is very important depending on where you're selling, because it could be that you're located in the US, but you would like to sell in Europe. Then you're going to translate this to European times, right? In order to basically to launch it. So 5 a.m. in the time zone where basically your store is located, not where you're located. That's super important. We set no end date because we're going to analyze it accordingly. Then we scroll down, and in here, you're going to use your markets. So if you're going to use UK, you're going to use UK. If I would do it right now for myself, I use Germany, of course, for my German store, right? I scroll down, and in here, this is all good. And we click on next. So in here, you're going to actually include all the ad creatives that you're going to use, okay? So in the next video, I'll also dive into that specifically, what ad creatives to use in terms of images, but also in terms of videos. I got a lot of questions about it. I'm going to dive into that in the next video and how to do that And in here, you can like select your Facebook page, for example, this one, with your Instagram page, right? Valenta mode is all connected, as you can see. And this is going to be, for example, image 1. Oh shit. Edit. So image 1, add copy 1. And I will show you guys as well how to create ad copies and everything in the next video. This is just a setup. Then we untap this one. We include here the images, which I will do in the next video. We can also do it now just for a test to show you guys. So let's use this one, for example. Click on next. Done. And then we use a primary text. So this is going to be ad copy 1. You're going to, of course, include that in here, like the actual ad copy that will be here, right? That's what we will do in the next video as well. And the headline, which will be in text in here. That's something maybe related to the discount that you use, or maybe let's say you have the 1+1 free, right? So you 1+1, of course, in a language where you're selling in. So let's say 1+1 free. Today, something like that, right? And you can even use a emoji that's actually dragging towards the shop now button, which we'll use. So we use finger, point out to the right. Where is it? Like that. I would even use like a yellow one, not a brown one. In the description, you can use free shipping. Okay. Then we click here, of course, on the shop now button. We scroll down and we just check if the actual you should, of course, implement your website URL in here, but we see if the actual pixel is implemented correctly. Tracking, yes, green dot, perfect. You're good to go. The only thing that you need to do then is duplicate this 2 more times. Why? We never want to rely on just one image from the start that we test. Could be that your product is working really well, but that your image is not performing. That doesn't mean that the product is not working, but that your creatives are just not working. So with 3 images, we're going to basically spread the risk. And in that sense, it will allow you to as well make better decisions accordingly based on the data of 3 ad creatives instead of 1. And with that, you're basically able to just make more educated decisions, right? Also, you can tell them that the product may be just not working, or that one is outperforming the other, and then we're going to use more of what is working for that specific campaign, and the next campaigns that will come for new products. Okay, so how we do that in terms of images and everything and videos, I will show you guys in detail in the next video. But this is how we set it up. Once you're done, you go to campaign level again, you click here and you click on publish. That's the only thing you guys need to do in order to set up campaigns. Okay, so with that, I genuinely hope this was valuable, that this gave you some more insights as well on what you can expect when you're going to do basically Facebook ads, what you should use in order to make educated decisions, and what ad creatives to use. With that being said, I really appreciate you guys, watching this video until the end, who's still seeing this. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys the golden nuggets in order to create winning ad creatives for your products that you're going to test. Okay. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.